Hello, this is Political Common Sense for America. I'm Brian Boeheim, the political engineer, and we're continuing our mini-series on understanding the federal budget and tax reform. And this is part 5. We're going to talk about the VAT tax, or the value-added tax. Now, you may have heard Speaker Pelosi and the President himself talking about the potential of applying a VAT tax. But let's understand what that really means. What is a VAT tax? What is the value-added tax? It's a tax that is applied to every step in the production and distribution chain. It's a tax on gross margin of each transaction, and it's collected from businesses, not individuals. The best way to explain it is to give you an example. If there was a VAT tax of 10%, Pepsi would pay $1.10 to the sugar grower for $1 worth of sugar. The sugar grower then would send 10 cents to the government. Pepsi would then make its wonderful little mixture and its beverage, and it would sell it to a bottler for $1.40. And it would pay a tax of 3 cents. Now here's how we get that. It charged $1.40, but it cost Pepsi $1.10. You then multiply that difference, which is 30 cents, times 10%, and you get 3 cents. That happens at each step. It would continue to the wholesaler and then to the retailer. So now that you know how it works, let's take a look at the advantages. First advantage is that it will eliminate corporate income tax. Second is it should eliminate sales tax. Now honestly, I'm not sure that that will happen in our environment. Third, the Europeans believed it would remove the black market incentive in their environment. Well, they haven't found that to be entirely true, but that was their belief and the intention. Value-added taxes are much more effective in a manufacturing environment and in a manufacturing economy. Finally, it collects taxes at the point of payment, which is a good thing because that's when people have money. So in terms of actually getting the money, it actually is a pretty effective methodology for that. What are the disadvantages of the VAT or value-added tax? Well, first of all, it places a greater burden on the middle and lower income consumers, as any sales tax does. It also imposes a huge burden on multi-tier markets. And what I mean by that is if you have a manufacturer who sends the product right to a retailer and then to a consumer, it works very well. Or from a manufacturer to a wholesaler to a consumer, to the retail consumer, then that works real well. The problem is when you have multi-tiers, for example, in technology environments where you have a manufacturer, then you have a distributor, then you have other parties and partners, if you will, or smaller businesses that add value to that product through expertise, services. All those steps get taxed, and it ends up making it very, very difficult to make money because it shrinks margins. And that's actually our next point. It reduces the profit margins for small and medium-sized business who try to find niches in that environment that I was just talking about. So it literally puts a tremendous pressure on those small and medium-sized businesses to stay in business. And what that does then is it drives those small and medium-sized businesses to get eaten up by manufacturers. And so what you end up with is these huge conglomerates with, the monster divisions that eat up all the small and medium-sized businesses. Now you can understand that what difficulties that might create, especially when you start talking about employment, since the small businesses are where the jobs are. Next, it works really poorly in a service economy because you've got to calculate what that add-on value is, and it's not a clear product chain. As I said before, it works very poorly in technology economies where there are a lot of added value elements that human beings attach to that, and or multiple products combined all of a sudden have a whole different value. Finally, it encourages political favoritism. As they've found in many countries that have adopted this, they have different percentages VAT taxes for different industries and different products, which literally is a special interest group who puts money in the pocket of a politician, and it creates this political favoritism that is counterproductive. So that's our take on the VAT or value-added tax. We've got one more video in this mini-series, and that is on the fair flat tax.